Hello everybody and welcome to my channel, Almost Home Creates. Today I'm doing something a little differently and I'm going to show you my process that I used to dry my flowers because I'm starting to try to work with dried flowers in my resin creations. And right now what I am doing is I am starting to put my flowers that I've gotten out of my yard in my Silica Gel sand, and I am going to link the product in my description below, and I'm trying to give them some space, and I did kind of crowd them because I was trying to get as many in as I could for this project. And next time I think I might just get another bag and split them up a little bit more. So as you see, I have some dandelions, some camellias, and some roses that were out of a bouquet that I had. I'm going to put down a layer of flowers, and then as I fill up my layer of flowers, I am going to put the silica gel on top of each of the flowers, trying to gently go around each petal just to try to get it to dry in the shape that it would naturally be in. And I kind of used a big shell for this because it seemed like the easiest type of the easiest type of utensil to use, because it was large enough that it's pouring it gently over instead of when I was using a cup and it was kind of pouring it very heavily in one spot. So if you notice, I'm kind of using my finger to guide the silica gel underneath each of the petals so that they stay in the form of what they are for like the daffodils. And then for the camellias, I'm just trying to get it in each of the petals there. And for the buds, it just kind of goes on top more. But I just slowly did each of these and tried to fill up over the level before I added more flowers on top of it. And the great thing about this silica gel sand is that it is reusable, and I believe you can use it 3 times for drying flowers, and then you put it in your oven and you can actually dry it out again so you can continue the process of using it once more. And if you are going to dry out your silica sand, what you do is you take a baking sheet and you put aluminum foil on it, spread out your silica sand over the top of the aluminum foil in a thin layer, and bake it on 250 degrees Fahrenheit for about an hour. And you want to keep check on it to make sure it's drying, move it around as needed, make sure you're not drying it too much to get the extra moisture out so you can start to use it again. Now you notice what I'm doing is as I fill in spaces with the silica sand, I'm adding more flowers, and oh, there's my cat, and I am going to get him out of the room because I don't like to work with flowers with the cat around or with the sand. But basically you want to layer your flowers, put your silica sand down, and then you can put more flowers in on top of it, just making sure that you have some good space between them, which you notice I kind of overcrowded my flowers here, but this was my very first time working with this, so I was kind of using some roses that were probably a little past the prime of what I should have used, but it's just what I did to practice and see some different things that I could do with them. Now I will at the end of this video also show you the flowers afterwards, and I'm going to show you the project that I started with them and that I kind of stopped before it was completely done because I actually did make a mistake on it, and I at this point just don't want to use any more resin on it than I already have, since I know that it's not going to be something I am going to keep. So while it's a little disappointing that it didn't turn out perfectly, it was also my first time using the flowers in the resin, and there were some things that I definitely learned. So I will kind of go over that after I show you how the flowers turned out, show you the different things that I would do differently for the resin, and then hopefully in the next few weeks I will actually do an entire project with my dried flowers and show you how that turns out. Now that I am mostly done covering everything in this bin, I'm just going to kind of dump the rest of my silica sand over top and shut it up and Each flower takes a different amount of processing time, so I will make sure that they sit in here long enough that they will have processed correctly. And here they are after they've already dried, and you can see the rose leaves are very dry. In fact, I am not going to use them. I really like how my camellia leaves turned out better, so I'm going to use them in my project. And here is my camellia. It still could stand a little bit of more time drying. So the camellias, as I pull them out, I'm going to put back in. You can still feel some give with them, just where they're not actually crunchy and they're still soft. So I will put them back in, but I knew my roses were ready to come out. And here's my first white rose. And at this point, I think I'm going to just speed up this video, show you the rest of the flowers as they come out. Overall, they've come out very well, and I'm very happy with the sand and how everything has turned out. At this point, I'm going to separate my flowers, and the ones that are done drying, I'm going to sit in a bin by themselves, and the ones that need a little bit more time, I'm going to put back in my silica. This rose is my favorite out of all of the flowers that I dried, and so I really wish this project had worked, but there were some things that I definitely would have done differently, so in the end, it's okay. And the camellias actually turned out quite nicely too, so I'm going to actually cut some more off my bushes before they are gone for the season and dry a few more of those for another project. And I'm going to kind of fast forward at this point and show you the dried flowers and then the little bits of the project that I did use for them. The daffodils are really nice and I'm quite happy with them. So while I have a few more in my yard, I'm going to actually cut a couple more off. However, in resin, their petals are very difficult to keep looking clean and without ripping them. So maybe I will use them on a project with not quite so much resin needed, because I'm not sure how to keep that from happening. Maybe I could flatten them before I use them, but the daffodils did turn out nicely, as you can see. All right, now here's the project that I started, and you can see I've got a lot of flowers actually set quite nicely in the resin, and I was very happy with this, but the only reason I can't show you the whole process is I accidentally forgot to start my phone recording as I did this part of the process. So while I am still very happy with this part of the process, this next part where I pour more resin, I forgot to come back and continue popping bubbles as I went. I did it very, closely for the first 15 minutes, and then I got distracted and forgot to come back and continue. So even though I really liked this project, I'm not going to continue with all the bubbles that are now on the surface. It just feels like a big fail, so I'm using what I've learned and will just make sure that I'm setting a timer on my phone. The next time I create one of these flowers, I will show you what it actually looks like, though, with where I am now in the project as well. And here's as final as this project got. I'm going to try to show you a little bit closer all the big bubbles that happened from when I forgot to check on it as it was finished curing. And generally, if you check on it every few minutes, if bubbles have come to the top, you can spray it with your 91% alcohol and it will pop the bubbles. And I forgot because I got busy with something else, and therefore that's what's happened. You can see though with the daffodils, it's like I was talking about, the leaves got really wispy, so maybe I won't use those the next time as well, because it looks like there's breakage on them because of it. Now there's some breakage on the roses, but it's because they aren't completely covered in resin, and so it left them open to breaking as I was pulling it out of the mold. So yes, this is not a perfect project, but at least gave me some insight onto some things I could do differently, and the different flowers that actually did do well and not. And the violets I was really happy with So I'll probably use the violets again, and I was happy with the colors on my roses from the drying process. So overall, the drying process was a success, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks I can get a video where the actual resin project was a success as well. And I'm going to show you the back here in a minute and show you how clear the resin actually was on the layers I remembered to pop the bubbles from. And if you like this video, just like and subscribe for more. And like I said, hopefully I'll just get a video in the next few weeks with some new flowers and where the whole project turns out as well as the back of this one did. So thanks for watching, everyone, and hopefully I'll see you again. Thanks.